Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah. We go on lots of Disney trips, and today we're going to talk about a really special trip we have coming up, which is we are going back to Disneyland. We have only been to Disneyland once. It was actually our very first trip years ago, and it got us hooked to Disney. We went for one day, and we actually went to California Adventure Park. Since then, we've done a lot of Disney cruises. We've done Disney World. It's a lot closer for us to go to Disney World. But now this summer, we're going to go back to Disneyland for a 4-night trip, and I'm going to tell you all about it. So let's first start with an overview of our trip. We are going to be flying in the morning, and we'll stay 4 nights. We're going to go to the Pixar Place Hotel, which was recently renovated. And we're basically doing 2 days at each park. We do have park hoppers, so we might use those, but basically our first day when we arrive, we fly in and we're gonna be arriving around like 9 o'clock or something. So we're in the morning. So we're gonna have most of our day. We won't make it for early entry or anything, but we will be there. So we'll get there, we'll like drop our stuff off at the hotel, and we'll head over to Disneyland. And I thought that'd be fun to start there. We'll see the castle. Now I do have one restaurant that we're going to eat at that day, and that's Cafe Orleans. I'm really excited to have the Monte Cristo sandwich there. And so Cafe Orleans, I wasn't sure if we'd want to have lunch or dinner. I'm thinking we'll have dinner. We have a reservation for both, and we can cancel that, I think, up to 2 hours before. I just kind of want to see how that is going. I might just go ahead and cancel that lunch reservation right now, because I think when we get there, we're going to just want to go explore and not really have to go sit down for an hour, hour and a half for lunch. So I think we'll probably cancel the lunch reservation, but we will probably do the 5 o'clock dinner reservation at Cafe Orleans. And then that's the only reservation we have that day. We typically, as a family, go to the park, then we go back in the afternoon for a little break, and then we'll go back at night. I think even at Disneyland, we'll do the same thing, except it'll just be a little bit easier because we don't need to travel as far to get back to the hotel. It should be easier to go back to the hotel at Disneyland because everything's so close. So that's our plan for the first day. The second day, we'll go to California Adventure, and hopefully we'll do early entry that day. It should be a California Adventure early entry day, because at Disneyland, they rotate. You don't get early entry at each park, both parks. It rotates one or the other. So that day, we actually have 2 reservations. The first is a lunch reservation at Lamplight Lounge. And that is going to be, I'm like excited to try the lobster nachos. That should be fun. But that's around 12:10, and that's in like the Pixar Pier area. Then I'm very excited. We are going to do the World of Color dessert party, and that's at 9:15 that night. So with the World of Color, we have done dessert parties before, and I don't always know if they're worth it. But I have heard really good things about this one because it's the only way you get a spot to sit. So basically, anywhere else, even you're going to be standing basically the whole show. But with this, you get dessert and you get a nice spot to sit. And just because we don't know Disneyland as well and California Adventure as well, I am excited to not stress about finding a good spot for color, the World of Color. So we are going to do that. So that's why I didn't have a dinner reservation that day, because we already have that at night. So I made it a lunch reservation that day for a table service, and then we'll have the World of Color dessert party for night. Okay, and then day 3, we're back to Disneyland, and then we do have a lunch reservation at Blue Bayou, which is the restaurant that's with the Pirates ride. And the reason I did lunch is because the lunch menu has the Monte Cristo on it again. So I know the lunch and dinner menus are a little bit different at Blue Bayou, and I wanted to make sure we had the option to get the Monte Cristo again if we wanted. So that's why we're doing lunch at the Blue Bayou. And I have seen different reports, but I think they share a kitchen possibly with Cafe Orleans, and it might even be the same Monte Cristo sandwich. I'm not sure. But we are excited for the atmosphere there, which is a big reason that we're going there, is for the atmosphere and being right where the Pirates ride is. And then we do have our last day at California Adventure Park. So we'll go back there for the last day. Now, the thing that's a little tricky with Disneyland is the fireworks. So from what I'm reading right now, because we're in the middle of summer, they basically have the projections and the fireworks every night at Disneyland. But in other times of the year, they only have they have projections every night, but they don't always have fireworks. And the fireworks might just be like Friday, Saturday, or Sunday night. So like on the weekends. So I'm actually thinking we can't see the schedule yet. We're kind of far out, but as we get closer, if it looks like during the week, we're only going to have projections. This is a Friday night, so hopefully they will still show the fireworks this night. So that's my plan, is if Disneyland, if that's our only chance to see the fireworks and projections together, then we will park hop over from California Adventure to Disneyland and make sure to see the fireworks that night. So I'm hoping we'll at least have one chance to see it. Even with just one chance, it's kind of a little risky. I've heard that it depends on the wind and that they might not have the fireworks, even if it's on the schedule, and even if it's a weekend, a lot of times it gets canceled and they just do the projections. So we'll see if we luck out, but that is my plan, is to just pay attention to the schedule as we get closer, and then hopefully that might be our one shot to see the fireworks, would be that last night. Okay, so next I want to talk about some of the things we're excited to do that we normally don't get to do, maybe at Disney World. One of them is going to see the character Bing Bong at our hotel. So at Disney World, sometimes the characters will come and visit, but they aren't really stationed there permanently. Whereas Disneyland, they actually do have some characters at the hotels. And there's a character from Inside Out called Bing Bong that you can't see anywhere else except for the Pixar Place Hotel. So we are excited to hopefully meet Bing Bong. So I'm going to try to, make that happen. Another thing that we just randomly learned about was the magic shop that has been on Main Street for a long time. And there's actually the cast members there are actually real magicians. I don't even think they're technically Disney employees. And we're going to go check that out, and maybe they can show us a trick, and we might buy some magic tricks. But the magic shop looks really cool. It has a lot of history and like a lot of memorabilia with Houdini. So we will go hopefully check that out. In general, I'm just really excited to see characters wandering around. The musicians seem amazing at Disneyland. So we're excited for all of that. I do want to see the parade that they have. Magic Happens. It's in the middle of the day. They have it a couple times. I definitely want to see that since we've never seen that parade. And then, of course, I talked about already, we want to see World of Color and the fireworks show that they have at Disneyland and California Adventure Park. Okay, and then next, the rides. So there are some differences. Of course, I pretty much just want to do everything, but these are the ones that I'm really excited to do because they might be a little different than Disney World. So first of all, one that I'm excited about, but we'll have to see if my family is brave enough and if they're willing to come on the ride with me, and that's Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout. So I love Tower of Terror, and I'm trying to convince them to just ride it because we've got, this one chance while we're at Disneyland. So we'll see who's willing to go on it with me, but I really want to go on that ride. Also the Incredicoaster, I'm sure everyone will want to go on that with me. And Indiana Jones, which I've heard is like the dinosaur track, but like way better. So we're excited to try that one out. Then we don't have Avengers Campus in Disney World, so I'm definitely excited to see the show with Spider-Man and also go on the ride Web Slingers. So that is a lot like Toy Story Mania, I've heard, except, you're shooting your webs. So that looks really fun. I'm excited to go on the Pirates ride as well, because that one is supposed to be a lot better than Disney World. And so I'm excited to see the differences with that one. I also really want to go on the Pixar Play Around Ferris wheel. I really want to do one of the seats that swings. I like it when there's the thrill part of it, and I think that'd be really funny to see how crazy it is. Everyone says it is really moves a lot, so I'm excited to try that Ferris wheel. And then a Radiator Springs, everything over there. So when we did go that one day years ago, we spent a lot of time in Radiator Springs. And one of the things we did do is we were there right at sunset when the lights, neon lights come on and they play the music, and it was so magical. So I definitely want to be there and figure out how they do that. I don't know if they just do, we should look at our weather app and see when it becomes sunset or something, but I need to figure that out to make sure we don't miss that. And I want to, of course, do Radiator Springs Racers, which is like Test Track, but better, although my kids love Test Track, but, and then the other rides like Mater's Junkyard, Jamboree, and Luigi's Rollick and Roller Coasters. I don't know if we ever did those ones. So I want to try all those rides out because we don't have those in Disney World. And then there's a couple of older rides that, like dark rides that we haven't done before, like Snow White's Enchanted Wish, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride I've heard is crazy, Alice in Wonderland, and then even It's a Small World. I love that you start outside and then they have like Disney characters in the ride. So kind of like little Easter eggs for you to look for. So that'll be fun. And I also want to do the castle walkthrough. I think you see there's a Sleeping Beauty castle walkthrough. So yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff. And then of course, there's other ones that we have in Disney World, like Galaxy's Edge and also Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railroad. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we probably want to do that we've done before. Now, there are a few rides that I'm not sure we're going to be able to do because looking at the calendar, it looks like they're closed for refurbishment. Haunted Mansion is closed right now, and I don't think it'll be open before the end of our trip, which is too bad because I really did want to try that one out. I know we have it at Disney World, but I think it's a little different how it works. The other thing is Space Mountain. I really am going to be sad if Space Mountain is not open, but it looks like it might be closed. And I will be very sad about that because I've heard that is so good. So I'm really sad. The other thing is Disneyland Railroad. That looks like it might be closed, which Richard especially will be very disappointed because that's like the original Walt Railroad. So I don't know about those three things, but I guess that means we'll just have to go back at some point. All right, and then the final thing I wanted to talk about is my food bucket list. Now, this is just like a list of all these things I've written down while watching other people's videos. So I don't know if we're going to get to try all of them in the 4 days that we're there. But I definitely want to have a Disneyland churro. I think they're probably all over the place. So I want to have one of those. I've heard they're better. And then the jalapeno pretzel. There's some kind of jalapeno pretzel. I know Richard really wants to try that. Now, this is not really a snack, but I do want to go to Jolly Holiday and get their grilled cheese and tomato soup. I love grilled cheese and tomato soup, so that is like a must try for me. There's also a bunch of macaroons all over the place. Like there's this alien one, I guess, that's kind of like Toy Story themed. There's also corn dogs in a couple of different places that we really want to try. And also the beignets. So they have those in a couple places. It looks like there's a couple different kinds. There's some at Tiana's, and then there's also some at Mint Juleps, that place. So we might try a couple different kinds. There's also a churro toffee that's at Trolley Treats. So the churro toffee, it looks like a square, and I saw Blair Lamb ate it in her Disneyland vlog, and it looked really good. I've heard great things about it. It looks really hard, but yummy and very sweet, I guess. So I want to try to find that. I've heard amazing things about the garlic cheese bread. So a couple of different reviews have raved about that. So I want to try to find that. I also saw in one of the videos, I haven't heard a lot about this, but there were like these funnel cake fries that looked yummy. So I'll be on the lookout for that. And then also we, of course, want to try some Dole Whips. I've heard there's a couple places to get Dole Whips, and like one of them is Tropical Hideaway, and I think they've got different kinds of Dole Whips. So I would like to try one of the special ones there. And also I've heard about the Harbor Galley chocolate chip cookies. Now, I would love to try these because I've heard they're wonderful. The only thing is it sounds like it's kind of a pain to get them, like they run out, there's really long lines. We are going hopefully at a slower time, so maybe we'll be able to grab those, but I would love to try the chocolate chip cookies, of course. All right, so that's it. Those are all of our bucket list items that we're excited to try and do. If you have anything that we've missed, please share it below because we are newbies to Disneyland and we are very excited for our trip. We are going to vlog it, so please stay tuned for all of those vlogs coming up, and please like and subscribe if you like more Disney videos. Thanks!